Hello and welcome to the All Rookie Podcast. Today is November 11th, 2024, and I'm your host, William Harris, aka William is Bill, back with you today on another great episode of the All Rookie Podcast, wrapping up week 3 of your NBA season, talking about the top rookies from week 3. Another great fun week. The rookies are progressing, guys that are rising up, guys are falling down the list. With nothing more to say, let's just get straight to it like it's nothing to it. Your top rookies of week 3. And number one may be a surprise to some because he was picked in the 20s in the draft, but Keyshawn George is the number one rookie of week 3. He has been balling out for the Washington Wizards. He's averaging, let's see his exact averages: 17 points, 6 rebounds, 3 assists, 1 steal, and almost 1 block. And that's in week 3. That is tremendous production from Keyshawn George, a guy that I was in dynasty drafts. It was a 20-team draft with 2 rounds. So 40 people were selected. No one drafted Keyshawn George in that league. And this is smart guys because they're like, his tape in college is not that impressive. So, and then he's going to the Wizards as the number 3 rookie. They already have a lot of guys at his size and position. No one thought Keyshawn George would be doing this, even half of what he's doing right now. And so to be averaging that in week 3, 17 points, 6, 3, 1 and 1, that's outrageous production. So you have to give him a lot of respect for that. He had a 15.7 rebound game, 17.6 rebound, 3 assists, 1 steal, and 2 block game. He had a 20-point game. This is Keyshawn George, the 6'7" guard that can play the 1 or the 2 or the 3. Playing tremendous for the Washington Wizards. So you have to give all your respect for Keyshawn George. Turning into a fantasy producer for you guys. And after he was an afterthought in the draft. Number 2 is Zach Edey from the Memphis Grizzlies. He is averaging in week 3 15 points, 8 boards, 1 assist, 1 steal, and 2 blocks per game. So that is great job, Zach Edey. We wanted those blocks to go up. He was averaging 0.4 blocks for the first 2 weeks. So to be up at 2 in the second week, that's tremendous. He had a 12.6 rebound, 4 steal game, 14.8 rebound, 2 block game, 25 12 rebound, 4 block game. So he was killing it in week 3. And that is tremendous because you have to remember they're running 3 centers in Memphis right now with the surprising addition of Jay Huff coming in. Last game, Jay Huff had 4 blocks out of nowhere. So not necessarily out of nowhere, but just for Zach Edey to still be this productive in a 3-man rotation, that is very impressive. So if one of those guys goes down, gets hurt, or just loses minutes, Jay Huff can lose his minutes or Edey can lose his minutes. We will see. But if Zach Edey moves into a timeshare with just 2 of these guys, him and JJJ, or him and Huff, look out, man. Because Zach Edey is balling. He's still learning the ropes out there, still shooting threes, but being a dominant force. And he's averaging around 20 to 24 minutes per game. So I don't know if that will increase, but it was great to see that huge performance out of nowhere, really, because before that, his previous high was 13 points. And then a lot of 6 points, 10 points, 7 points, and then a 25 and 12. That was against the Brooklyn Nets. So that may give you some, insight on that. The Nets are a terrible team. So, but still, that's important because if you dominate against terrible teams, that still counts, But Zach Edey, number 2. Number 3, Zachary Richer, another guy with a huge performance, the highest point performance from any rookie thus far in the season. He had a 33-point game with 7 boards, 3 assists, 3 steals, and 2 blocks. And that just was explosive out of nowhere because his production all around wasn't doing all that. But for the week 3, he's averaging 18 points, 4 boards, 2 assists, 1 steal, and 1 block per game. And that mainly was because of that 33-point performance. But he also had a 17-point and a 15-point performance. and another game with 2 blocks. So Zachary Risache is stepping it up, playing around 30 minutes per game for Atlanta right now with DeAndre Hunter out right now with the injury. And I don't think DeAndre Hunter's going to get that starting job back from Zachary Risache. We will see. But you have to be impressed by what you see from Zachary Risache. Another guy the consensus was down on because he was the number 1 pick in the draft. In most dynasty leagues I was in, he was being picked around 9th or 10th in the draft, and he was the first pick in the draft. And that goes to show you, don't overthink it. If they're picked first, it's for a reason. He may not be number 1, 2, or 3, but he's going to be in the top 5 somewhere in there. So Zachary Risache, number 3. Number 4, Carlton Carrington. You may know him as Bub Carrington. Averaging in week 3, 10 points, 7 boards, 6 assists, and 1 steal per game. Bub Carrington, point guard for the Wizards, playing along with Keyshawn George. He was the highly anticipated rookie after the Summer League, but he's still doing amazing. He had a 16.8 board, 7 assist game, a 10 point, 10 rebound, 8 assists, 4 steal game. His last game, I don't know. He did get injured in his last game. He only had 4 points, 2 boards, 3 assists, but that wasn't 31 minutes. So Bub Carrington, other than that last game, killing it on a tremendous trajectory. You do not see rookies at 19 years old getting double-doubles like that, 10 points, 10 boards, and almost a triple-double with 8 assists. And then the other game, 8 rebounds and 7 assists. You don't see that on the norm. And this is not a true point guard. He can play the 1 or the 2, but to me, viewing him, he was a straight pure shooting guard. I saw Joe Johnson in his future, but he's doing it all, putting up numbers in all the realms for the Wizards. So you have to love that for Bub Carrington and the Wizards. He's at number 4. Get well soon. I don't remember his injury right now, but he's just day to day. Number 5, another Wizard, Alex Sarr. He's having a really good rookie season. And another guy people were down on a little bit because his summer league was terrible. His preseason was not much better. But Alex Sarr is averaging in week 3, 10 points, 6 boards, 4 assists, 1 steal, and 2 blocks per game. Now, Alex Sarr had a double-double in the first game of the week, 10 points, 11 boards, and 3 blocks. And you got to remember, the points, you may want to see big points from Alex Sarr. His highest scoring game so far is 17. Everything else was 12 and under. But those rebounds, those blocks are what you are happy about with Alex Sarr. The points will come. The blocks are probably the hardest thing to get, learning the defense and all that. Of course, you're 7 foot, so it's going to come. But sometimes scoring is easier to learn than defense. And Alex Sarr has the defense down. So he gets some points in the paint a little bit more. He's going to be all right. I've been hearing they're going to trade Jonas Valanciunas. So once he's out of the way, it's going to be even more minutes for Alex Sarr because he averaged 25 minutes per game in week 3. Those minutes need to be at least at 30, 33. And you're going to see his production get even better. He'll be seeing 16 and 10 every game, more than likely. So Alex Sarr, another great week 3, number 5. Number 6, Stephon Castle, the guard from the Spurs, averaged 13, 3, 2.5 assists, 1 steal per game. And he was able to play a little bit more. Devin Vassell was out of the lineup. Devin Vassell did just now return, but that did not hurt Stephon Castle. And Devin Vassell's first game back, Stephon Castle scored 23 points, 2 boards, 3 assists, and 2 steals. So that was out of the blue. Everyone thought, okay, dang, he had his chance. Now Vassell is back. We're not going to see Castle really get to shine because before that, he was week 1 and week 2, it was nothing. Week 3, he finally started to get some minutes. He had 11 points, 4 boards, 5 points, 3 steals in the next game. And then the third game of the week, 14 points, 3 boards, 6 assists. So it's like, oh man, he's getting better every game. Fourth game, Vassell's back, it's going to drop back down. But it didn't. 23, 3 assists, 2 steals, like I said. So keep an eye on Stephon Castle for next week because it's going to be very interesting to see what the Spurs are going to do because he fits very well with Devin Vassell. Vassell's not going nowhere. Stephon Castle's not going nowhere, clearly. So Sohan is out with an injury right now. I think that's going to allow them to continue to play together. And Alex Sarr, great game. I mean, Stephon Castle, great game, great game. I'm glad because it looked like he was never going to get there. He showed out in that game with Marcel. That might have put some fire under him, and he showed out. Next, we have Jalen Wells on the list again, the second round pick, averaging 13 points, 3 boards, 1.5 assists, a half a steal, and half a block per game for the Memphis Grizzlies. Jalen Wells can just light it up, man. He had a 20-point game in week 3. He also had a 16-point game. 3 games in double digits. 1 game, he only had 6 points, but he had 5 boards, 3 assists, and 1 block. So Jalen Wells continued to fill in the role for the Grizzlies. They still have a lot of injuries, and he's going to continue that production until Vince Williams comes back. Then we're going to have to see, does Jalen Wells take a seat back, or does he play with Vince Williams? Because right now he averaged around 26 minutes per game in week 3. So if that goes down, that will hurt him. But for now, Jalen Wells seems like a vital player for this team, plays so well for them. And also Bane is out. So when Bane and Vince Williams come back, we will see what happens. But for now, keep your eye on Jalen Wells. Number 8, we have Jared McCain from the Philadelphia 76ers. He finally got his breakout because Tyrese Maxey got injured. McCain averaged 13 points, 2 assists, and a half steal per game for the 76ers. But more importantly, he had a like a breakout game where he scored 27 points, had 3 boards, and 2 assists. I believe that's the second highest scoring point outage of the year for rookies. So that was tremendous. Before that, he had a lot of nothing games. He's only had 4 double-digit games this season. Or he had 12 one game, 19 one game, 18 one game, and then this last game 27. And those last 2 games have been some of his best. But when he does not get the minutes, he's averaging 3 and 4 points per game. The last 2 games, 30 minutes, you see the production. So as long as Tyrese Maxey is out, Jared McCain is going to be going off for the Philadelphia Sixers and getting every chance that he needs to perform and show what he can and can't do. And I'm excited to see it. Last game they said they benched Paul George and Jared McCain was in the lineup at the end of the game. So that's not something you see every day. But it's good to see McCain getting some shine. I didn't think he would get many opportunities this year, but obviously with injuries come opportunities and you have to be ready. He was ready. Congrats to Jared McCain. Next on the list, we have AJ Mitchell from the OKC Thunder. A surprise to me, for sure, because I just traded him away in my Dynasty League. Why did I do that? No. And then week 3, he's been averaging 8 points, 2.5 assists, and 1 steal per game. Before that, he was showing little glimpses here and there, but I'm like, there's no real path for him to increase what he's doing. We just know he's good. Somehow, the last 2 games have been the most minutes he's played for the most part all season, and he's had double-digit scoring performance in those last 2 games. 12 points each game. One of the games, 12 points, 2 boards, 7 assists, and 3 steals. That is tremendous for a second-round pick out of OKC. That's not starting. And like I said, 19 minutes he did that. So imagine if he was starting for OKC. All it takes is an injury or 2. But, I mean, you would think it would take 2 or 3 or 4 for OKC. They have a lot of point guards. But AJ Mitchell is just too talented to keep off the court. And I love to see it. I see the potential in him. We saw how he played in the offseason, summer league, and preseason. It was just a matter of will he get the minutes. And he's forcing his way into minutes. So we'll see what happens. And, fingers crossed, no injuries. Chet Holmgren just got injured. I don't think that would affect the guard rotation, but if they decide to go with a smaller lineup, yeah, I mean, stranger things have happened. So we will see, but congrats to AJ Mitchell being the 9th best rookie in week 3. Up next, we have Tristan Da Silva for the Orlando Magic. In week 3, he's averaging 8 points, 2.5 boards, 2 assists, and a half steal per game. This is mainly because Paolo Banchero is out with an injury for multiple weeks. Now, we knew Da Silva probably would get a shot, but I figured KCP, Gary Harris, Jet Howard would get a lot of run before Tristan Da Silva. The Magic were like, nope, let's go ahead and put him in there over all those guys. Like Jet Howard was drafted 11th by this team last year. Tristan Da Silva, 18th, 19th pick in the draft this year. They're choosing Da Silva over Jet Howard. So that's not the greatest news for Jet Howard, who I liked, but in fantasy, I had to give up on him because I'm like, this was his shot, and they chose the rookie. So, but Tristan Da Silva had a 9.2 assist game, 11.4 board, 2 assists, 2 steal game, and he's just having a solid performance where he's stepping up for Paolo being out. Obviously, he's not going to put up Paolo numbers, but it's good that he put up those double digits in the last game where he had 31 minutes. And he's had 2 double-digit scoring games thus far. We will see if Tristan Da Silva will keep it up. Now, you'll see the numbers are starting to decrease now. You know, he's at 8 points per game. Now, Cody Williams, 6 points per game in week 3. Three boards, 2 assists, almost a steal, almost a block per game. A lot of people are down on Cody Williams. You'll hear it left and right. Any podcast where they talk about the Jazz, they're going to bag on Cody Williams. But you have to be patient with the rookies. No rookie, and I can't say no rookie. Most rookies don't come out of the gate on fire like that right there. But he did have his first double-digit scoring performance of the year this year. Had 11 points, 5 boards, 4 assists, and 1 steal. And his second game of the week, he had 6 points, 2 boards, 1 steal. 1 assist and 1 block. So those are solid performances. You know, it was one of his biggest minute outings he had with 29 minutes and then 25 minutes. And then the latest game of the week, only 16 minutes, and he didn't score any points in that game, but he did put up a board, an assist, a steal, and a block. So I think Cody Williams is just, maneuvering his way through the season, learning on the fly. This year may be quiet. Next year, I think he will start to really turn it on. I don't mind what I'm seeing with the slow progress from Cody Williams. Lauri Markkanen was out. He's back now, so it'll probably be really quiet next week. But still, it was good to see him put up some numbers in his limited opportunity. We will see what happens next week. Number 12, Donovan Clingan, the big man for the Trailblazers, who we all want to see get more minutes. But he's averaged 6 points, 3 boards, a half assist, a half a steal, and 2 blocks per game in week 3. Now, he averaged 15 minutes per game in week 3, so we still are waiting for those numbers to increase. But Robert Williams is back now, and he's actually looking really good out there for the Blazers. They are either playing him to, showcase him to be traded, or Clingan's just the number 3 center right now. That doesn't make any sense to anyone. You drafted him 8th overall. He's your number 3 center. Something ain't lining up. Ayton has to go. Robert Williams has to go. Or Clingan has to go. 1 or 2 of those guys have to go for Clingan to reach his potential. The fact that they took him that high, they could have traded the pick. They could have drafted another position, which they need. They went with Clingan, I assume for a reason. He's producing in limited minutes. We're just going to have to be patient and see what happened. But he had his first double-digit performance of the season in 16 minutes. He had 13 points, 3 boards, 1 steal, and 1 block. Everything else is he would have averaged 4 or 5 points per game this week, around 3 or 4 rebounds, and around 2 blocks. So maybe he needed to show Chauncey Billups something with that scoring outage of 13 points in those 16 minutes. And maybe that might open his eyes like, oh, Clingan can do a little bit more than what I've seen. He may get more minutes next week. We will see. But really, this team needs a lot of trades to go down, actually. They're an interesting mosh pit of players. So that's Portland for you. We'll see. Keep an eye on Donovan Clingan. If you have him in Dynasty, don't panic. It will come eventually. Next, we have Yves Missi. Let's see what Yves Missi's done. Not much. His minutes have declined. He averaged 5 points, 4 boards, 1 assist, and 1 block in week 3. And that's really unfortunate because, earlier in the first 2 weeks of the season, he showed so much potential. But his production is just kind of down this week, mainly because of the last game. But he had a 7 rebound game. He had a 10.3 block game. And that was his biggest game of the week. 10 points, 4 boards, 3 blocks. You love to see that. That was in 18 minutes. The next game, 19 minutes, pretty much no production. He had a steal and a block and a rebound. So we want to see that consistency go up. He had his second double-digit performance scoring of the year with that 10-point game. But it's just been a lot of nothing other than those 2 games regarding points. And I don't know. Zion is out indefinitely, so you think that might be a window for him to perform better, but he may need Zion there to play better. I don't know, but the Pelicans do have a lot of injuries right now. Jordan Hawkins is out. Obviously, DeJounte Murray is out. Herb Jones is out. I mean, it's a lot of guys hurt right now. So Zion, like I said, we will see what happens with Yves Missi, but he definitely should be higher than 13 right now. So I don't know what is in the plans for the Pelicans, but keep your eye on Yves Missi. He's still been a good rookie that's shown you he can be a key piece for this team or another team. You know, like if they use him like Derek Lively is used in Dallas. Last but not least, Kyle Filipowski. He's averaged 5 points, 3 boards, 3 assists. That's it. We need the blocks, Kyle Filipowski, but he filled in one game where he had 24 minutes and he played very well. He had 8 points, 5 boards, 6 assists, and 1 steal. He had another game where he had played 17 minutes, had 7 points, 5 boards, and 2 assists. The game in the middle, sandwiched in between, he played 4 minutes, so he couldn't do nothing with that. So the minutes are the key for Kyle Filipowski. He's shown that he can do some things. You know, he had a 12.8 rebound game early in the season. He just needs minutes. He's not getting many. He's only played 3 games with 20 or more minutes this season. You know, it's still early in the season. We're in week 3, but it was good to see Kyle Filipowski get his name on the boards and, you know, put up some numbers. So that's your list of your top 3 rookies right there. Top rookies of week 3. We have 14. Every week we've had 14 because it drops off tremendously after those 14. But I want to give a shout out to Isaiah Collier, who had his first real game of the season in 24 minutes. He scored 7 points, had 6 boards, 4 assists, 1 steal, and 1 block. Great production for your first real game of the season. He's been out injured with a hamstring all year. Good to see him getting some minutes. I know what he can do. Rob Dillingham, I tell you every week, he hasn't played. He finally is getting some run in week 3. You know, he had 8 minutes, 1 minute, and 5 minutes. So he did score his first points of the game of his career in week 3. His first game that he scored 4 points and 2 assists. And the third game of the week for him, he had 7 points, 3 boards, and 2 assists. So good to see Dillingham getting on the court. You know, he's shown some flashes. Mainly it's in garbage time, but he deserves the minutes. We want to see it. That's your rookies. Reed Sheppard, I wish there was something for me to report. There's nothing. He's not getting the minutes, not being productive. You know, other guys that were leaders in the rookie category, you know, Jamal Shead, Jamison Battle, their points and minutes are reducing tremendously, to be expected. Ryan Dunn is banged up right now. Ron Holland is, you know, he's coming along. I want to see more from him. Pelle Larsson for the Heat, getting crunch time minutes for them. They're starting to trust him. Keep your eye out on him. Having an impressive rookie season for a second rounder. And that's your week 3 wrap up. I will tell you the leaders in points, rebounds, assists, etc. So right now, as of today, overall for the season, your leader in points for rookies is Zachary Richer with 12. Second is Jalen Wells with 11.4. Zach Edey, 11.2. Jared McCain, 10.2. Alex Sarr, 10. Leader in rebounds, Zach Edey, 6.6. Then Alex Sarr, 6.3. Yves Missi, 5.4. Donovan Clingan and Bub Carrington tied for 4.8. Leaders in assists, Bub Carrington with 5. Jamal Shead with almost 4. And a 3-way tie with 2.5. Leader in blocks, by far, still Alex Sarr with 2.5. Clingan bringing up second, 1.6. Yves Missi, 1.5. And it goes to irrelevant numbers, pretty much. Leader in steals, it's really a 5-way tie. It's 1.1, 1, 1, 1, and 0.9. That's all 1. So yeah, Bub Carrington, Jonathan Mobo, Keyshawn George, Spencer Jones, and Zachary Richardson as far as steals. And your leader in minutes, Bub Carrington with 30, Keyshawn George with 29, Zachary Richardson with 27. And that is your rookie wrap. That's your rookie week 3 wrap up. All right. I'm out of here, man. Thank y'all for listening, subscribing to the All Rookie Podcast. I appreciate you. Week 3, that's the wrap. I'm out of here. Peace.